It all starts in Indiana, back in the mid-60s. We see Michael Jackson as just a kid, standing there with his brothers. His father, Joseph Jackson, tells them to get in position and run the same songs over and over again. He keeps correcting Michael, snapping at him, telling him to look at him while he sings. The rehearsals don't stop until, eventually, their father gets fed up listening to them. A few days later, at dinner, Michael plays with his food, shaping a little figure that makes his brothers laugh. But the mood shifts instantly when his father starts talking. He tells them there are only two choices in life, win or lose. He reminds them where they come from in Indiana and warns them that if they don't fight harder than everyone else, they'll end up stuck in the same place. If they want something better, they better be ready to fight for it. Later on, Joseph has them measure their hands against the wall and tells them that from that moment on, they are the Jackson 5. That's where it all begins. We see them performing in a bar, slowly winning over the crowd, while their father watches every move with a sharp, calculating vzglad. When they get back home, the kids are wiped out. Their mother, Katherine Jackson, reminds them they've got school and tells them to go to bed. But their father shuts that down right away, saying they're not tired enough and that their performance wasn't good enough. Michael tries to speak up, but Joseph grabs a belt and hits him, demanding total obedience. Then he turns to the others and orders them to keep rehearsing until it's perfect, repeating once again that in this life, you either win or you lose. Not able to take it anymore, Michael goes to his room and breaks down crying. Later that night, alone, he buries himself in storybooks, trying to escape, even just for a moment, from all the pressure around him. The next day, rehearsals start again with the same intensity. The Jackson 5 keep sharpening their talent and performing on new stages. The days turn into a relentless routine of practice and shows. They rehearse, sing, dance, and eventually start showing up on TV, always under their father's strict watch. Every time Michael hesitates or pushes back, Joseph forces him to keep going through punishment, enforcing a discipline that's as harsh as it is constant. As time goes on, all that non-stop effort starts to pay off. Eventually, the group makes it to a bigger, more respected stage, like the Regal Theater. There, under their father's watchful eye, the brothers step on stage. While the others play instruments and hit their choreography, Michael takes center stage, singing with a power and charisma that pulls the crowd in, making it clear he's not just any kid, but a star in the making. A woman in the audience is blown away by the kid's talent and comes up to them. She turns to Joseph Jackson and asks if they're his sons. She introduces herself as Suzanne DePass and tells him that with Michael Jackson's voice, they could go far. After the show ends, they set up an audition with her. Sometime later, Joseph takes Michael to that audition. They ask him to stay still so the recording comes out right, but it's almost impossible for him. His energy keeps slipping out, and they have to stop him a few times. Still, after trying again, he manages to control himself enough and starts singing clean and on point. His talent shows right away. At that moment, Joseph tries to step into the session, but they shut that down real quick, telling him his only job is to make sure his kids show up on time. They'll handle the rest. Suzanne DePass watches everything closely, fully aware of the potential right in front of her. Not long after, they tell Michael they've never heard a voice like his before. They start showing him how music production works, the mixing, volume levels, tones, and how to use the equalizer, easing him into the professional recording world. But his father cuts in abruptly, saying Berry Gordy must be too busy, and decides to take him home to keep rehearsing. As time passes, we see Michael and his brothers recording and practicing more and more. Berry Gordy keeps working with him and explains that in the music industry, they can even play with his age to shape a stronger image. Just like that, the group rises fast. They give interviews, drop records, and their fame takes off like crazy. We jump to 1971. Michael, now more aware of everything around him, spends time with his pet, a rat, opening up to it, sharing thoughts and little stories, until he's interrupted by a call from outside. His father then introduces him to Bill Bray, who's gonna handle his security. Later on, Michael asks his mother if he can have a llama at home, explaining that he needs friends, and that with animals, he finds a kind of companionship that actually feels real. His mother tries to encourage him to connect with kids his own age, but Michael admits he's already tried, and it didn't work. The people who come close to him just want to stare or take pictures. Gently, his mother tells him she always knew he was different, even from the moment he was born. She says he carries a special light, and that, in her faith, he has to let it shine without letting anyone, not even himself, put it out. Later on, the Jackson 5 perform at a massive festival. The crowd goes wild for them, clapping, cheering, and soaking in every performance, proving just how strong their impact impact already is. The story moves ahead to 1978 in Los Angeles, California. Michael Jackson has his first major solo project lined up. In that moment, Quincy Jones asks him a crucial question: how he's going to tell his father that he's ready to drop his own album and step away from the family group. Michael, knowing what's at stake, decides to talk to his representatives. He asks them to help his father understand that he needs this project to express himself and build his own artistic identity. With Quincy Jones producing, the album is already in motion, with several tracks in progress. Finally, the moment comes when he faces his father. Joseph Jackson hears the proposal, and, to everyone's surprise, he agrees, but he sets one clear condition. Michael can do whatever he wants outside a certain schedule, but from 9 to 5, he's still under his control. If he wants to record late at night, that's on him, but by 9 in the morning, he better be there, sticking to the discipline that runs his house. Later on, Michael shares his excitement about the new album with one of his animals, his llama, the same one he always wanted as a kid, showing the unique way he connects with the world. Then he heads to the studio with his security team, clearly fired up about the creative process. He asks Quincy Jones to dim the lights so he can focus better. After a quiet moment of reflection and a short prayer, he starts to sing, bringing to life one of his first big solo tracks, "Don't Stop Till You Get Enough." From that point on, his fame rises even faster. The success becomes overwhelming. His house fills up with letters and gifts sent by fans from everywhere, proof of the phenomenon he's become. Even so, Michael also takes time to visit hospitals, spending time with sick kids, showing a more sensitive and compassionate side of himself. Sometime later, he gathers his brothers and parents to show them a new addition, a small chimpanzee he decides to name Bubbles. He explains that he rescued it from a place where it was being used for testing, and that now he's gonna take care of it. He points out that these animals are highly sensitive to their environment and to people, so they need constant attention and affection. Michael takes him to his room and, in an almost childlike way, shares his favorite stories. He talks about Neverland, the Lost Boys, and the world of Peter Pan, revealing his deep connection to the idea of never growing up, of escaping into a place where innocence still exists. The next day, Michael Jackson goes to a medical appointment, set on having cosmetic surgery on his nose. During the checkup, he also mentions his vitiligo and explains that he uses creams to even out his skin tone. The doctor asks why he wants the procedure, and Michael answers firmly. He's chasing perfection. He feels his face isn't fully symmetrical on camera, and to him, that's unacceptable. With that in mind, he goes through with the surgery. When he gets back home, his father, Joseph Jackson, notices the change right away. Michael tries to play it off, saying it's because of sinus issues. From that point on, we catch quick glimpses of his lavish home, where he even lives alongside exotic animals, like a giraffe, adding to the uniqueness of his lifestyle. Now recovered, Michael starts wearing makeup more often due to the spread of his vitiligo. In a conversation with his sister, he admits he's happy with how the surgery turned out. He adds that a lot of artists make changes like this, and that he wants the world to see him differently. He's not a kid in a group anymore. He's grown, and he's looking to redefine who he is. He also says he sees his fans as an extension of his own family. He knows it's time to take control of his future and become who he truly wants to be. Before leaving, he warns his sister to be careful with her snake, saying it's hungry, once again hinting at the strange world he lives in. Later on, he meets up with his father and brothers. Joseph Jackson says the Jackson family is a brand, but admits that Michael is, at that moment, the most recognized member. Because of that, he suggests putting together a new Jackson 5 tour. However, one of the brothers points out that Jermaine Jackson is no longer part of the group. Even so, Joseph keeps pushing the plan and suggests they ride the wave of Michael's album success. Michael steps in, clearly uncomfortable, and says he'll think about it, but his father snaps back, hinting that now that he's made it solo, he thinks he's better than the rest of the family. The tension builds, and Michael, shaken, decides to walk away with his security team. As he steps outside, he's met by a crowd of fans waiting in front of his house. In the middle of all that chaos, he tells Bill Bray he's tired of the constant pressure from his father. He explains he already had a clear plan: his album, his songs, and a possible solo tour. He wants to be free, make his own calls, and build his own path. Still, he admits that despite everything, he doesn't feel fully ready to take that final step and completely break away. Bill Bray warns Michael Jackson that his father is never gonna change, and that the smartest move would be to get legal advice. In the end, Michael makes a pragmatic call. He agrees to go on the family tour. The result is immediate. Tickets sell out fast, proving just how powerful his draw really is. The story moves forward to 1981 in Los Angeles, California. Michael attends a key meeting where he's confronted with a harsh reality. If his real goal is to keep going as a solo artist, he's gotta be willing to cut certain ties, even within his own family. That's when John Branca comes into the picture. Michael knows his track record, working with artists like the Beach Boys, and decides to trust him to take the next step in his career. After asking for a moment alone, he makes a direct, no-nonsense request. Now that he's his lawyer, he wants him to fire his father. Sometime later, Joseph Jackson gets the official document notifying him that Michael Jackson is ending his role as his manager. The reaction is instant. Furious, Joseph goes to his wife and calls his son a coward for not facing him directly. He says that when he sees him, he's gonna confront him head-on. But Katherine Jackson steps in, firm, reminding him that Michael is not a child anymore, and he can't keep treating him like one. If he doesn't like it, she tells him he can leave. She also makes it clear that when he sees his son again, he should be thanking him, because a big part of what they have today is thanks to Michael. Joseph, hurt and prideful, fires back, saying it's all because of him, that he was the one who pulled the family out of nothing and built the path they're all living off now. Later on, while Michael is at a supermarket, a group of fans comes up to him asking for autographs, once again showing just how famous he's become. He tries to reconnect with his brothers by bringing them a game to spend some time together, but they brush him off, saying they're busy. With nowhere else to turn, Michael goes back to his private world, finding company in his chimp, surrounded by a mix of luxury, isolation, and a kind of quiet calm. That balance breaks when, going downstairs for a glass of water, he runs into his father face to face. Joseph, clearly upset, calls him out for firing him and accuses him of being a bad son. Even with all the tension, it doesn't turn physical, but the emotional distance between them is impossible to ignore. After that, Michael leans back into one of his most human sides. He visits hospitals to spend time with sick kids, strengthening his bond with those who need it most. At the same time, his artistic ambition keeps growing. He lays it out clearly. He wants to create an album that defines an era, put together a massive tour, sell out tickets in minutes, and pack stadiums all over the world. Meanwhile, his surroundings keep reflecting his eccentric lifestyle. One of his assistants is out walking a llama around the neighborhood, drawing confused looks from the neighbors. But for Michael, all of this is just part of his world. In the end, he decides to lock in completely on his music. He isolates himself, stays focused, and starts working with absolute determination, aiming to reach a level nobody's ever hit before. One night, flipping through channels, Michael Jackson comes across news reports about violence and killings in the streets. The images hit him hard and get him thinking. For days, he stays deep in his thoughts, searching for the right tone, the core feeling that'll shape his next album. Driven by that idea, he calls his right-hand man, Bill Bray, and shares a belief that music has the power to bring people together, even those from completely different worlds. So he decides to invite some of the kids connected to those stories into the studio, hoping to turn that energy into something creative. Michael explains to them that dancing and singing are a universal language, something that can break barriers. Little by little, he brings them into his creative process, letting them be part of building something bigger. He wants to experiment, to feel the music in his body, to turn it into movement. Then he tells them they're gonna be part of something special, a musical short film. That's how the idea for Thriller is born. Inspired by horror movies, Michael decides it won't just be a song, it'll be a full visual experience. From there, we see him develop and produce a short film with a dark, cinematic edge, changing the game in how music can be presented. At the same time, he kicks off his world tour. The response is insane. Huge crowds show up trying to get tickets, proving his impact has gone global. In the middle of all that success, Michael sits down with Walter Yetnikoff. Even though Thriller is selling like crazy, he feels like something's still missing. He wants his videos playing on MTV. Walter warns him the network barely plays black artists, but Michael stands his ground. His music, he says, isn't for just one audience, it's for everyone. He's not about to accept any kind of discrimination. Despite the pushback, he convinces him to keep pushing. Eventually, Walter makes a bold move, demanding that Billie Jean gets heavy rotation, warning that if it doesn't, they might pull other artists from the catalog. The strategy works, and Michael finally breaks into MTV rotation. The story shifts to 1983 in Pasadena, California. By then, Billie Jean has hit historic numbers, with millions of copies sold, reaching a level of success never seen before. His presence on radio and TV pushes him even higher, locking him in as a global phenomenon. We see him on stage, performing his songs with unmatched precision and energy. His choreography, his iconic outfits, and his unique style completely captivate the crowd. In one of those moments, he pulls off his signature backward move, the legendary moonwalk, leaving the audience in total awe. After one of his performances, Berry Gordy, who supported him early on, comes up to him. Not long after, his father, Joseph Jackson, shows up and, instead of any affection, calls him a straight-up money-making machine, making Michael visibly uncomfortable. Later, Joseph Jackson meets with Don King, known for promoting top fighters. During the meeting, Joseph lays out his idea, putting together a massive world tour with his sons, making it clear that Michael Jackson would be the main draw. Impressed by how Don King handles business, he suggests they team up and turn it into a highly profitable move. Don King agrees, but sets one clear condition: if they can't get Michael on board, the whole plan could fall apart, and the fallout wouldn't be pretty. The pressure on Joseph builds, and his determination to get his son into the tour only grows stronger. Later on, Michael heads to his room and runs into his father on the way. Joseph tries to persuade him, reminding him that he allowed him to build his solo career, so now he expects him to join the tour with his brothers. He argues that family comes first, and that success means nothing if you don't share it with them. Michael, though, stands his ground. He wants to be independent, build his own path, and live like anyone else. But his father keeps pushing, saying that being alone, even with money, means nothing. To him, family is everything, and that's exactly why he has to be part of the tour. In the end, Michael gives in to the pressure. We see him getting ready and rehearsing with his brothers for the show. But during one of the Pepsi commercials they're filming, a devastating accident happens. He suffers a serious burn on his scalp and is rushed to the hospital. There, doctors inform the family that he has third-degree burns, along with significant nerve damage. The situation is serious. Joseph, worried but still focused on performance, asks if his son will be able to go back on stage. The doctor explains that recovery will be slow and delicate, but Joseph barely reacts to that. His main concern is whether Michael can keep singing and go through with the tour. Sometime later, Michael looks at the aftermath of the accident. He realizes his hair won't grow back the same way, and that he'll have to rely on wigs. It's a turning point, not just for his appearance, but for his personal and artistic life too. A crowd gathers outside the hospital, waiting for updates on Michael Jackson. Inside, his mother, Katherine Jackson, comes to him, clearly shaken, and apologizes for not being able to protect him. Michael, not wanting to go deeper into that pain, asks her not to talk about it. Instead, he shifts the conversation to his father, saying no one seems able to stop him. Katherine, calm as ever, reminds him that no matter what happens, she'll always be by his side. As the days go by, Michael slowly starts to recover. In a conversation with his lawyer and representative, John Branca, he admits he can't stop thinking about the kids he saw in the hospital. That's when he makes a meaningful decision. He wants to donate a large amount of money, a six-figure sum, the same amount Pepsi will give him after the accident, to the burn unit, as a way to help others going through similar situations. Not long after, affected by the medication, exhaustion takes over, and he finally lies down to rest. Meanwhile, Joseph Jackson shares his concerns with his wife. He warns her that if their son doesn't join the tour, they could lose everything, even the house. He also insists the rest of the brothers won't go on without Michael. Katherine, calm but firm, tells him her son never wanted to be part of that tour, that it was all planned behind his back, and that he needs to accept Michael is already on his own path. She warns him that if he can't step aside, he risks losing him for good. Later on, still at the hospital, Michael Jackson talks with Bill Bray. He tells him he feels like God gave him a second chance. He's convinced his purpose goes beyond music. He wants to reach the whole world, heal people, and share his light and joy. He truly believes that's his calling. Still, he makes it clear he'll do the tour for his family, but after that, he'll be ready to follow his own path. And just like that, in 1984, the Victory Tour takes place, organized by Joseph Jackson. The brothers reunite on stage with Michael for a tour that would mark the end of an era. Right before stepping out, Michael thinks back on everything his father told him over the years, the pressure, the demands, the sacrifices. Then he walks out in front of the crowd with a presence that feels almost larger than life. The audience is completely captivated. He performs Human Nature, wrapping the whole stadium in a one-of-a-kind atmosphere. Even though he's exhausted, he gets ready to keep going. But in the middle of the show, he pauses for a moment. He gives a heartfelt thanks for the 6 nights of concerts, to his brothers, and most of all, to his fans. Then, he asks for the music to be cut. The place falls silent. With a mix of emotion and determination, he announces that this will be his last tour with the group. He says it's been 20 incredible years, that he loves them all, but it's time to close that chapter. As he says it, he locks eyes with his father. And just like that, Michael Jackson says goodbye to the Jackson 5, marking the true beginning of his path as a solo artist. After the announcement, Michael avoids his father when he tries to confront him about what just happened. Without stopping or explaining anything, he just keeps walking, making it clear he's made his final decision. The story moves ahead to 1988 in London, England. Now fully established as a solo artist, Michael steps in front of a crowd that greets him with pure energy. The stage is set, the anticipation is at its peak. The show kicks off. Michael steps out and opens with Bad. His voice, his presence, every single move, it all hypnotizes the crowd. The audience is completely locked in, giving everything to a figure who's no longer just an artist, but a global icon. Every step, every gesture, every note confirms what the whole world already knows. They're watching a legend at his absolute peak. The movie wraps up with the promise that this story isn't over, leaving that feeling that there's still more chapters to be told in the life of this artist. And that's where Michael 2026 comes to an end. If you enjoyed this recap, don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more content. See you next time.